Hello everyone, and today I'm going on a camping adventure. I'm hoping to camp at the top of a hill. I've set the camera up here, bit of a gruesome sight. It's funny because I wish I'd taken some footage of it, but there's two eagles and there's some coppice of trees beside me, and I wonder if they've had this. Anyway, it's a skeleton of a ram. Let's hope they aren't circling me in my tent later on. Anyway, I'm going up to this point up here. I'm hoping to get a good view. There's two well-known Munros and mountains that I'm camping near, and it's a super busy area, but the way I'm going up is super quiet. It's a lovely solitude, apart from the very start, but the car park was heaving, or the space for the cars at the side of the road, so I'm now off the beaten track. Looking forward to a bit of peace and quiet. Get up there, get my camp up, and enjoy the views. I might even go up one of the Munros if I have enough time. Anyway, so let's go. Let's see how we get on. So where the steep bit starts. Oh man. Oh man. This is tough going. It's quite steep. It's straight up. And I've not done too many bits to camera because I've been pecking and panting. Anyway, look at that view behind me down the loch. That's Loch Earn. Isn't that lovely? And it's a mirror cam today. There's no wind. We're very, very early spring, and because there's no wind, I've literally just got this base layer on and a gilet. I do know that I'll have to put my other layers on when I get to near the top and there's a bit of a breeze, but yeah, it's been slow going. There's no paths. As always, the paths make such a big difference, but the ground's been pretty rough. Lots of heather bashing and getting my way through some old terns, but ferns even. Anyway, I'll spin you around and you can just about see the hill's starting to level off a wee bit, so I don't think I'm too far away from getting up to the summit, which is just over here through some bogs and a few more bits of heather. So let's crack on. I'll report back at the top. The summit. Camera's just to the side of it. Glad to see this, and I'll spin you around to show you why I've come to the top of this hill. And it's that view there to these two Munros. Hopefully you can make them out alright. That's Ben Vorlich, and to its right, Stuka Croin. I just love this view of them. I've been up to this hill, or up to this viewpoint once before, and just loved the view and always thought it'd be a good place to come and camp. And there's plenty of flattish spots that I can set the tent up. So I'm actually going to stop and get a bite to eat, put my coat on here and then find the pitch, and I'll report back in a wee while. What a place, so fantastic. The views are crystal clear today, it's lovely. Oh, I might put this other jacket on. It's a wee breeze, and when the breeze comes in it's cold. A lot of the ground's still frozen. I found a spot where it's not frozen solid, so that's in the shelter. It's actually in the shelter. Just a rock band about 5 or 6 metres that way. But anyway, look at this view. Behind me, as I said before, is Ben Vorlich and Stuka Croin. A bit further over to the east of Stuka Croin is the Corbett Benich, and then further round is Ben Ledi, and it is crystal clear today. I can see Ben Lomond quite clearly. I can see over to the Arachar Alps, the flat top of Ben Narnain, and also the jagged outline of the Cobbler are quite pronounced. It's just so clear. And then coming round further is further into the Trossachs. You've got you can see the gouge of Loch Voil, and to the right of that you've got what I'd call the Crean Larrick Hills, and the most prominent ones are Stabinian and Ben More. Sort of like a nice big pair of mountains there dominating the skyline. And you can come further up, and I think it's maybe it could be Ben Oss or Ben Dubcraig, or maybe even Ben Louis, I'm not sure. And then round to the Glen Lochy Hills, and then further north I can see I think it's Meal Gurdy, and then round to their Tarmachan Ridge, which is a fantastic outing, Muirnan Tarmachan at the right hand side of that, and then you can see where it drops down to where we park our cars. And then, yeah, on to Muirlan Coronach, Ben Glass, Ben Lors, and the other Lore hills. And then down this way is the flat rolling hills above Loch Earn, or between Loch Earn and Loch Tay. It's lovely. Anyway, I'm going to put my tent up. There is some heather burning going on down here. I'm hoping it's not going to come too far up the hill because there's no heather here. Let's get this tent set up. It's a nice wee spot here. It'll shelter us a wee bit from the wind, literally 5 or 6 metres from the summit. So I'm going to find a nice flat bit. Get the tent up. Perfect. Right, let's do this. It's going to be cold tonight, so I've got the big sleeping mat, my downfilled X-bed mat, and I tell you what's been a lifesaver. And the reason I bought it was for this big one is this wee pump. Makes things so much easier. A bit lazy of me, but it's great. So I'll leave it on and it'll put the bag up for me whilst I get my sleeping bag out and all other stuff. A wee luxury. And the sleeping bag in. Then I can decide if I'm going to go up this hill or not. Fantastic. Right, that's camp set. It's a glorious afternoon. I've got about 2 hours left, maybe 2.5 until the sun goes down. So I'm actually going to head up, go for a wee jaunt up Ben Vorlich. I've got my head torch with me, just in case it takes a bit longer. And I need to find some water on the way back as well. So there's some streams just down from the Bealach here, so I shouldn't have to drop too far down to collect water. So yeah, let's head on and go and get to the top of this Munro and see, hope the cloud doesn't come down. So I'm skirting around, there's a wee bump in between Ben Vorlich and my tent, and you can see that wee hill behind me is where the tent is, and beyond that is Ben Lors. Yeah, now I'm getting to see the task ahead of me, and this is Vorlich on the left there. Didn't look that steep from back at the campsite, but I do remember really enjoying this ridge when I did it the last time. So yeah, let's go up and see if I can get up there before it gets dark. Down and across the Bealach I went, and at this point the going wasn't that tough, but I was soon on the steeper slopes of Ben Vorlich, and I must admit I was feeling pretty tired at this point. It was steep and unrelenting, but before long I kept on going. Soon I was approaching the summit of Ben Vorlich. That's me made it to the top. The summit trig of Ben Vorlich. It sits just under 1,000 metres. I think it's about 980, 985 metres, and it's a fabulous peak. And this shoulder down here, that's the one I usually come up, and where all the people today would have gone up. And there's a lovely ridge on the top here. Lovely, and a view down over the lowlands. It's pretty cloudy still down there. And round to Stucacroin. Just there, I'll just swing around. You can see further over to the north, there's Stubinian and Benmore, and there's a few snow showers actually just to the north of me. I don't know if you can make them out. It's pretty dark in the camera. It's starting to, light's starting to go a wee bit. But yeah, lovely. There's a flat land. I call them the flat lands, but Ben Honzie and Achnaffree Hills over there. But lovely, right? So yeah, my tent is down. Doesn't even look like a hill from here. It's an extension of the quarry, but Ben Orr, it's away in the top of that one, so I've still got a bit to go. So I think I might be getting the head torch one because we're not far away from sunset, and I also need to find some water. So let's get cracked on. Time to head back down. Oh, I'm looking forward to getting the fire on. and having some whiskey. You can't really tell it from this footage, but the temperature was starting to drop and I was feeling a bit cold as I descended down back the same way as I'd gone up the hill down the shoulder, but I still needed to find that water. And yeah, I came across this wee small pool. I usually prefer to have running water, but this would do. It'd be pretty frosty as you can see, and yeah, I just collected some water which was peaty brown, but it was going to be fine once it was filtered and boiled. After this, it was time to head back uphill to the top of Ben Or and to the camp spot. Right, just about back from Ben Vorlich. Absolutely knackered. Need some food. So I've got back before it's dark, and it's just good. I'll spin you around. There is the top. Just there. And my tent. It's just there. Whew. Happy days. Right. Let me chill for a while and I'll bring you back. Probably when I'm making my tea. It's time for some food. Tell you what, the temperature has dropped. I might be getting my gloves on shortly. It's really, really cold now, and it is forecast to get colder through the night and into tomorrow with a cold front moving down. I can still see there's sort of, looks like there's light snow showers to my north, so might get some snow. There's been a few flakes coming out of the sky. Nothing too substantial. I'd be surprised if there was a covering of snow, but we might get a few flakes during the night. But anyway, for now I'm going to get my tea on. I've just got a camping Wayfarer's chicken tikka tonight, so I'll not bore you with how I'm making it. There's no steaks as per usual or fancy nonsense like that. Just energy. So I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to have some whiskey. So I'll report back later on when I've got some whiskey. That'll warm my extremities up, I think. Right, let's get this set up. Right, I've had my tea. It's quite nice. I'm going to keep this water and fill up my water bottle, hot water bottle. That's what I use this for. I think I've said that before. It means I can reuse it in the morning. It doesn't give a plasticky taste, so I'll keep this water to fill up, to heat up later on. But yeah, it's a bit, yeah, I hope the snow doesn't come to too much, but it's certainly cold enough for it, that's for sure. So let's just see what the night brings, see if the snow gets any heavier, or if the wind picks up. As I said, I've got a wee bit of shelter here, but not too much. I might get my fire on in a wee while, but yeah, I'll report back once I've got the fire on. And I've got the wee stove which keeps it up off the ground. I've got a wee bit of slate, a bit of flat rock to put it on there to keep it even further off the ground. So we'll do that in a wee while, and I'll report you back when I've got the fire on. Tell you what a difference having just a wee fire makes. It's warming my hands up. It's still snowing, it's not heavy snow, it's just kind of blowing through. It's enough to land in the tent and hear it sort of falling off every now and again. But yeah, it's going to be a cold night, I think. That wind is... It's not windy, don't get me wrong, but it's enough to to make me cold, that's for sure. So I'm just going to chill with the fire on, have my whiskey, listen to the radio, get a signal here, so that's quite good. And then get warmed up for the night. I've got my silk liner, my X-bed sleeping mat, and my winter alpine. Sorry, what is it? It's a Rab 900, a Cent 900 or so. I don't know. My winter gear to keep me warm, and the hot water bottle as well. That'll be cosy. So I'll probably leave you just now and report back in the morning, and we'll see what the morning brings. Yeah, so we'll see you in a few hours. Good morning. It's just about 7 o'clock now. It's a wee bit breezy. Always sounds worse when you're in a tent. but it doesn't make me want to get out of it any quicker. Yeah, it's been cold. I've been warm enough. Surprisingly, I had a bit of a disaster last night. My my hot water bottle had leaked. I hadn't shut the lid properly. When I got into my sleeping bag, it was soaking. So what I did was, it soaked right through to the ground mat. So I turned the ground mat round and I tried to wring out my sleeping bag, which isn't great because it's down. And then turned the sleeping bag. So I've had the hood of the sleeping bag over my face, but it saved me having to lie on top of the wet stuff, and it's actually been alright. It's kept me pretty dry. Kept pretty warm, which I thought might not have been the case. Anyway, let's have a look outside and see what the story is. I'll swing you around. Alright. Let's see what's happened overnight. What's it like out there? Very misty. Yeah, not much happens. Right. Let's go up and get a brew on. I'll report back in a wee while. Oh, I've got 3 jackets on. I tell you what, I'm glad that I pitched the tent where I did behind this wee escarpment of rocks, because it's given me a wee bit of shelter. Just a wee. If I stand up there, it is blowing and the cold goes right through you. It's amazing what the wind chill can do. Anyway, I've got the stove down here in a wee bit of shelter, and I'm going to boil up some water so I can have a coffee. And whilst that's boiling, I'm going to start breaking the tent down and putting the sleeping bag away and all that sort of stuff, because it might take a wee while. A lot of the water, even though it was in the vestibule of the tent, is partially frozen, so let's see how long this takes. I'm looking forward to a coffee, right? Let's get this stuff down. The clouds in, everything's frozen. My boots were well frozen this morning. It was a bit of a battle to get those on. And the snow last night didn't really come too much. It obviously hasn't snowed since, and there's a wee dusting on the heather, but not enough to write home about. So yeah, I'm enjoying this coffee. This is a beautiful wee windbreak that somebody's put in for me, and I'm just sitting on my dry bag to keep my bum warm. I'm going to have a Scotch egg and a flapjack. I've got everything away apart from the tent. Yeah, so I'll have my coffee, finish off breaking down, and then head back to the car. So I'll bring you back when I'm probably striking camp. Oh, packed away, which is good. And yeah, not much to see, to be honest. See, the clouds in, so I'm glad that I came up when I did yesterday. And as always, leaving no trace. The only thing I've left, I don't know if you can make it out, is the outline where the snow's fallen off the tent, the footprint of the tent there. So yeah, I am going to now get my backpack on and head down the road. Wow, in the mist. Who knows, it might clear up later on, but yeah, it's cold, a bit breezy. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here. As always, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Right, let's go. Oh.